So, I'm going to be doing a retwist today. I'll tell you why in just a minute. Welcome back to the Atreyu Locs channel. Hi, I'm Atreyu, a Semi Freeformer who is dedicated to bringing you the best tips to grow a healthy set of locks. If this is your first time, make yourself comfortable. I am glad to have you. So for the past few nights, maybe like almost the past week, when I have been putting my head on the pillow, laying down, I've noticed some pain in, the back area of my head. And one thing that I will tell you about when you freeform or semi-freeform is that your locks will mat up, right? Because you're not doing maintenance often enough to keep the hairs going where they should. Meaning hairs that should be in one lock, lock A, end up going into lock B and vice versa. And yeah, you get just certain connections that should not be there. And as a result, those hairs, when they're connected to a lock that they shouldn't be, and then they're matted in there to a certain extent, it can start to pull on the scalp, right? So say I have hairs that are, attached to this lock, and then I have hairs that are attached to this lock. But then these hairs, at some point, maybe I wash my hair or something, and even though I separate, the hairs kind of congregate, right? And so as this lock continues to grow, these hairs, remember, they should be going like that, but now they're going like that. And so this part is pulling up on my scalp, and that's causing pain. I separate every time I wash, but sometimes you just need to do some maintenance. You just need to do a retwist to like really firmly establish where you want those hairs to go. And so that's what I am going to be doing in today's video. Hey, if you are enjoying this video, don't forget to smash the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you are notified every single time I upload. How about that? You guys watched my last video last week. I already showed you how I retwist. It has not changed, so I'm not going to be doing the retwist on camera. That takes forever. But I will show you what my hair looks like when I'm done, which means I should show you what my hair looks like right now, the before. So, as promised, I have not done a retwist. And I love it. I'm actually a little bit, tight about the fact that I have to do a retwist, right? So this will not be a year where I only retwist once, but it's fine. I'm not being legalistic about it. I'm just saying it would have been nice if a brother could have made it to August without having to do a retwist. But you got to give your locks and your scalp what it needs. So yeah, these are my locks pre-retwist, and we'll see what they're like after I'm done with it. So I will see you at that point. Alright, you guys, I am back, and as you can see, I've completed my retwist. And yeah, my scalp feels so much better. Sometimes all you need to do is a retwist and get those hairs going into the appropriate locks to eliminate the pain that you might be feeling. And I feel like it's kind of a counterintuitive concept. You might be thinking like, well, how does your hair matting together how does that lead to your scalp hurting? Like, it seems like a non sequitur. It seems unrelated, right? But in actuality, it is very much so related, because as I showed you, when you have those hairs that are going to places that they don't normally go, and then they get matted, and then they start to be pulled in that direction, well, as those hairs are pulled, what those hairs are attached to, aka your scalp, is also going to be pulled, and hence the pain. So now that I have separated my locks and got the hairs going in the appropriate places, the pain has ended. Something that I did different with this retwist, and sometimes I do this, it's been a while since I've done it, but it just worked out that I had washed my hair not too long ago, and so I didn't wash my hair before doing this retwist. What I did was I just used my spray bottle, and I used distilled water with And I didn't use peppermint oil this time. Normally I will use a little bit of peppermint oil, but I use spearmint oil because I really love the smell of spearmint. Love that. Love it. Anyway, so yeah, I used that, and that's what I did my retwist with. But basically I just put my hair up, kind of like I showed you on last week's video, and you know, took down rolls at a time, section at a time, and I sprayed, you know, those locks with the distilled water, and then I pulled them apart if I needed to do some separating. So whenever I was pulling hair, you know, the hair was moist, so I didn't have to worry about breaking hairs unnecessarily. But because the entirety of my locks were not sopping wet, it just made it a much more pleasant experience. It also made it a quicker experience too. I was able to just see and work quicker. And I don't know if it's because I've had locks for over 6 years now, but I didn't have to do a whole lot of separating. I mean, I still have hair that grows away from my locks, which is why this video is being made in the first place, you know, because marriages are happening. But yeah, a lot of the locks, the hair stayed where it should have been. And yeah, it's been several months since my last retwist. So I guess technically this is what update? September, October, November, December, January, February, March. So this is my 7-year, 7-month lock anniversary. My 7-year, 7-month lock update. My 7x7. It's been a while since I've said the, you know, lock anniversary lingo. But yeah, it's my 7x7. So I guess it was meant to be, you guys. September, October, November, December, January, February, March. Yeah, 7x7. Wow. So that's cool. And I don't anticipate having to retwist again until my 8-year lock anniversary. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, the locks feel amazing. They feel great. And I'm going to get a good night's sleep tonight because I don't have to worry about my scalp hurting when I lay down on the pillow. So hopefully this video has been helpful. Also, before I go, one of the other reasons that I wanted to do a retwist besides the pain was to kind of see the state of my scalp. You know, with seborrheic dermatitis and all the scratching that you are prone to do, you can thin out a lot, right? You can lose hair from all the scratching because that's irritation that you shouldn't be causing to your scalp. And so, you know, I've tried to keep my stress levels down, and I just was curious to see how my scalp is doing. I mean, I had some hints, you know, that one video where I showed you the new growth that didn't belong to any lock, you know, how my hair started to grow back from when I was losing hair, and I did reincorporate that hair into some locks up here somewhere. So yeah, but one thing that I noticed in terms of the state of my scalp is that I had a lot of new growth, and not just regular new growth from not retwisting my hair in months, in 7 months, but new growth where I originally was losing hair because of the scratching that I was doing as a result of the itching caused by the seborrheic dermatitis. So I say all of that to say that my scalp is in good condition. You know, I was pleasantly surprised to see, you know, the state of my scalp. I was afraid that I was gonna have these big, like, scalpy patches, you know, where I had just lost so much hair. But even in those places where I had lost a lot of hair, I'm getting a lot of that hair back now that I have the SD pretty much under control. I mean, it still itches, but you know, it's much better than it was. And by me not doing maintenance often, I think that's also helping when it comes to getting my roots thicker, you know, more hair is growing and stuff without being ripped out when you're scratching. So yeah, it was a good retwist, and how fitting for my 7x7. So yeah, hopefully this video helps you if you are noticing pain on your scalp and you're semi-freeforming. Then think about the fact that it might be caused by the fact that hairs are tangling where they shouldn't, and it's causing tension on your scalp. Tension that you didn't cause, but I guess that you did indirectly by not doing maintenance. So you might want to do a retwist or interlock or something, whatever method you use, okay? If you choose to love, do so unconditionally, because loving with conditions conditions the heart to not really love at all. This is Atreyu Locs, and I will see you next week. Peace.